Hello guys, and welcome to another video. This one is going to be focused on the newest specialization. I guess it's not the newest anymore, it's the second newest, and this one is called Oracle, and it allows you to equip two amities at once. And this is going to be one of your biggest power spikes because amities are really powerful, so even one is a game changer. So using two is definitely recommended if you are not tanky enough to use sequencer yet. So I'm gonna jump in. Okay. Alright, maybe not. I think I'll jump into a full thing. I hate hills because too many statuses. I'll try asserter. So the circumstances one is the 40% critical amity, and I'm going to put in the one for the temporary positive buffs. Positive status effects will last 50% longer. So I have positive status effects will last 50% longer over here, and 40% critical damage increase over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and use a shield, and I'm going to go ahead and I guess I could use the boots because, so what I'm gonna recommend guys is if you don't have a Heretic coat and a Heretic horn, which as I keep saying, I believe not only are they two really good items for raiding, but they're decent in general. They're really good for raiding because the additional mana from the Heretic coat allows you to be more comfortable in your iconoclast passive from heretics, and the Heretic horns allow you to get more mana with the same potion. So if you're trying to do stuff like spells that are expensive, then you're able to use that. So the previous video I did on Omnimancer, so I guess I will do it on Omnimancer again because I'm already a few dozen ascensions into Heretic. So I don't want people to think, oh, he's already strong, this doesn't apply to me. So I'm using a class that doesn't even have iconoclast. So whatever damage you see me do, know that you'll be doing a lot more damage because I have no ascensions and this is a tier 9 class. So we're gonna hop into something. I'm gonna have to do the recovery and harm over there. That I'm pretty sure the recovery one is the positive status effects, and then I'm looking for no circumstances. If you don't have these two, I would say other good ones are the sequencing. If you have two sequencing ones at 4% each, that's like 8%, and that you can use with a shield. So I think two sequencings are good. Two 40% crit ones are good. If you have specific ones for your element, especially your specific faction, those are good. And you just pretty much look from there. As I said, as early Heretic, you're gonna want to, all right, so my bad, that one, where's my ward again? Scratches head. Didn't I have ward in here? Or I think I was on another specialization that had more slots. I think that's what's happening here. So I'm supposed to have ward in, but technically I don't need it. I do need it, yes, but technically I'm not gonna be in here for that long to say, okay, I definitely need it. So we're gonna try again with Magic Sword and see what difference the amities make with especially the 40% crit increase. Because you'll remember the previous video, we weren't even hitting 100,000, so you can already see that this is already okay. Then I guess he's just gonna fucking one-shot me. Yeah, I'm gonna put ward in right after this one, guys. But yeah, when you actually do crit, you'll be critting over 100,000. That's why I like full crit builds. And keep in mind, wow, this motherfucker is fucking resilient. How is he not dead? Also, why is this guy hitting this much on me again? I'm confused. Is he supposed to be hitting that much on me? Oh, the critical, I guess. So you can already see that you can already do enough damage. And keep in mind that Heretic's critical is a 2.5 damage multiplier. So if you were to do 10,000, you'll do 25,000 criticaling as a Heretic. Yeah, fine, perfect. Alright, so I'm gonna take out Ward of Balor. And I'm going to put in Ortonite just because I'm going to need that absorption. And I'm not going to use Ward of Balor anyway. And as I said, you're going to have in your Arisen Fae stuff, if you do have them, to reduce your mana. I've never used this class before like that, so I wouldn't have everything all sorted out. I think I've only ever used this class to try one or two things. So pretty much you are going to try to get, as I said, action rate in your weapon, especially now that you have the Amity that is giving you a 50% increased time on the temporary buff. So Lugos Gauntlet and your Defic channel, and even when you use Worm Song, you get your temp magic up and it will last just a little bit longer. And after you buff up, I recommend doing your Golem's Fortitude and your Barrier 2. You pretty much just spam click, and especially now that negative bonus, the negative effect, the res down, 25% reduction in res is on him. You just pretty much spam it, and then because Face Chimera likes to crit, you can also use Magic Dagger, which gives bleed and that lowers the critical rate. So I think this is better than Magi Spec, but Magi Spec is an option for persons who don't have too good amities, because Magi Spec will act as the second amity with the little passive effect. So the only reason you're now using Oracle is because you have a better effect than that. And as I said, stuff without resistance, do utilize your Fae Spark or your Fae Blizzard or whatever. Utilize your faction bonus because that gives you a 25% damage increase. And you're pretty much just stacking multipliers. And I actually didn't even put in Berserk. So as we can see, this one is definitely the way to go. This one is definitely way better than Magi. And I'm going to try it with the Staff of the Chimera too, and see what it's like with those buffs and see how the damage is taken. Wow, this is nice. This is nice. I didn't even know Omnimancers could do this much damage. This is nice. This is really nice. So this is definitely going to be my recommended build for even Omnimancers, but this is a Heretic build that I'm showing you guys, because the Omnimancers won't have the Kalandanda, for instance, so they'll be using something else. And okay, I'm at 50% on this one, and that took 3 minutes. That's not bad at all, because I know some persons who can't even do 50% as Heretic, and I think this is what solves that problem. And I don't think I need to explain the gear again. If I do need to, please do ask questions. I don't want to make this video the longest video in the world. So 150,000 damage was what damage I was getting with all of my buffs up. Now I will try the Staff of the Chimera to show you the power of the what do you call that now? The Berserk 1 buff, yes. And I'd like to find another Chimera. I might summon a few things just to try to find one, because I want to test it on the exact same thing. Damn. Let me see. But I'm of the thinking that it will do just a bit more than 150k damage. But obviously I have to test it and see it with my own eyes to know that for sure. One of the problems you will be facing without the additional slots that gave you the additional action rate from the Kalandanda is that you'll be getting DC a bit less now with less action rate. I'm going to try Asserter because he's pretty similar. And you just ward up first when you head in. Wow, I got my Berserk already. And even when you're dual wielding, guys, I said it in a really older video. When you finally reach the stage that you're now sequencer and you can dual wield, you're going to want to use your Staff of the Chimera in your main hand and your offhand staff, the staff without a proc or the proc that you want less in your offhand, because your main hand is going to proc more than your offhand. Alright, so doing a little bit of damage so far. Let's see what's possible. And obviously we're still waiting on the Lugus to proc. And as I said, just the consistency of the DC is going to be game changing, because you're definitely just going to want DC up so that you're safer, because you'll notice I have my defenses up, I have even the Berserk Mushroom in there, yet still I'm still having to be on guard because I can take damage. But when I have DC up, it's a lot harder for me to take damage. So I want to see if it really is better, or if the Kalandanda was better with just the one Berserk. Okay, so that's giving me 110k. So let's try Face Partner. Hopefully this guy isn't immune. And 168,000. So you see there's just a bit more damage to be had when you use the Staff of the Chimera, though I'm not sure just how consistent it will be, but you can just be sure that you'll always have on your Berserk. So if you can handle the HP reduction that you're getting, especially if you aren't using something that's giving you, like if you aren't using a Berserk Mushroom, I think it's fine. Either this or the Kalandanda, they're both fine. I definitely need a little bit more crit. As I said, as Heretic, you're going to be doing 2.5 times the damage when you crit. So you want to focus on having a chance to crit. You want to be critting as often as possible, if not always critting. So as I said before, this would also work well with the sequencing Amity. I think dual wielding those would be really nice. I think they go up to 4% each, so that would be around 8% with the Oracle Spec. And I think it could be really worthwhile. Alright, so this is the main reason. Oh well, maybe I just got lucky because DC is actually up right now. But I'm not doing the consistent damage I was doing just now. In my opinion, I just did 2.8 million damage in 3 minutes. So let's see if I can do that right now. I'm pretty much there, and I'm gonna head out after this one and see. I didn't get my Lugus proc the best, so maybe that was the problem, but you can see that they're pretty similar. and they're doing more damage than Magi Spec. So it's up to you. Magi Spec is still viable, and it has other applications outside of just raiding, which Oracle does have too. But you're going to have to tweak it, or if you have something you want me to try, you can let me know and I'll try that out for you guys. So yeah, I think Oracle Spec is really good. I think you can utilize the passive. If you're a bit unclear on how Heretic works, I would say watch my Magi video, because I explained a lot more in that video, just in general explaining raiding and raiding mechanics, and just doing faster raids like equipping, as I said, Arisen Fae, or just Fae gear in here as a Heretic, so that it will reduce your overall mana in the world, and then your world mana is what you go into raids with. So you notice I'm not full mana, I go into the raid with not full mana. And around half of my mana being missing means that I have a 50% increase in all my stats as Heretic. As Omnimancer, you're not going to get that increase because they don't share that passive. So it isn't necessarily necessary on Omnimancer. But as Heretic, as this is a Heretic video, you're going to definitely want to do that. As you're leveling up and you start using multi-turn spells, that's when you begin to use Sequencer. But you still need to be able to take the damage that things will be dishing out, because with Sequencer, you'll have a lot less ward to work with. As you can see, I was just working with 70,000 ward as Omnimancer, and that was pretty much a tear down. And as Sequencer, I'm working with 40,000 ward. What is this? Oh, it's the Oracle Spec. Okay, guys, I hope that was useful. I know it wasn't the most in-depth, but I expect that persons who have watched this are watching my other videos. The video I explain raiding mechanics in best would definitely be my Other Realms video, where I use my max raid build to smack the Other Realms raids around. So I'll definitely recommend that one. And until next time, guys, I thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. Definitely try out the Oracle specialization. I'm going to be trying out other things too, so my next video might be on the Zwei Fencer. So guys, don't expect me to be pronouncing these words properly. These words are very goofy. So I'm just going to say what I think they're pronounced as. Don't even try to correct me. I do not care. So I'll be trying out the Zwei Fencer, the next one, and we'll see how that goes, because I do have a few two-handed weapons, and I know that persons are interested in doing two-hand builds because they have their Arisen Trev charms. So I'll definitely try out those. And then that one is one that sounds like double critical amity would work well with it and stuff like that. So until next time, guys, I hope this was informative, and take care of yourselves. Go out there and destroy as a Heretic. That is our purpose. That is our goal. That is our destiny. Destroy